Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam Zagar. We're hopping into another YouTube reading today. We have a couple of different mechanics. Let's get the chart up on the screen. We have a 4-1 self-projected projector. Are you having a problem you need help with? Physical health and vitality. I feel like my physical expression is not nearly as vital as it could be. If anything, I feel creaky and old within my being. How old are they? 33! Oh, not old. Not old at all, okay? I feel exacerbated and reinforced by a very active mind that loves to analyze the tiniest of details. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit called out by that. Yeah, high active brain for sure. What is your biggest question? As I ponder this, I feel my lack of flexibility within my body is a reflection of constricting myself and what wishes to flow. There's a hair on me. I thought it was a spider. I was about to freak out. Okay, back to what I was saying. As I ponder this, I feel my lack of flexibility within my body is a reflection of constricting myself and what wishes to flow. I also want to share that I am not eating consecutively. This has been a huge challenge having come from an Indian background. Okay, Indian background does not tell me that you are like living at home. It's not that your family is currently feeding you. So your food of origin is Indian eating, but I don't know like where you are right now, where you can shop, what you crave. We're just acknowledging the conditioning, okay? What comes up for you when I ask how to achieve optimum health and vitality within myself? Okay? What else are you curious about? My work entails the idea of channeling and mediumship, bringing through multidimensional frequencies that are designed to evoke healing or realignment, without wanting to sound egocentric. You have no ego. I'm really not worried about you sounding egocentric. Feels like I'm here to express and do beautifully powerful things in this reality. Let me tell you, there's no shortage of things I want to do. They want to do a lot, okay? Anything else you need me to know? What do you wish for me to know? I also want to extend my love and appreciation to you for the work you do. Oh, okay. So they gave me I feel old and creaky and not that vital and I'm not eating that well, but also in general, what do you see, Sam? Okay. So I've got a 4-1, I've got a juxtaposition cross. We've got a fixed fate, as in where this person goes, the other, not that like the other people will always follow or anything, but this person leads themselves. Their pathway is their pathway, and whoever gets on it is kind of, yeah, following along with them or kind of like on for the ride. This is a I'm a take you for a ride kind of incarnation cross. However, incarnation crosses are not that relevant till the midpoint in life, so you are young for the juxtaposition cross of provocation. Like for the cross of provocation part, you're a little bit young, but it's not to say you haven't been learning the lessons of provocation the entire time. There's a difference between the incarnation cross and the sun gate. However, the incarnation cross is determined by the sun gate, so this cross is based off of the fact that we're starting with gate 39. Juxtaposition cross of provocation. Gate 39 is very provocative. Yes, this all aligns. I've got 39 in an undefined root center. So I want to talk a little bit about the provocation from this person. Maybe I want to talk a lot of bit about the provocation, because this is a little bit of like a rabbit hole we're going to tunnel into. Gate 39 is half the channel of emoting. However, we don't have the full channel of emoting here. We have a hanging 39. So I have an undefined root center, which means there's no consistent energy to the provocation that's happening in the 39. And where it would be reaching on the other side for gate 55, there's nothing there. In fact, what it's reaching towards is a completely open solar plexus. So when I look at solar plexus themes for this person, we are wide open. The topic of truth and confrontation has an open-ended question around it. This is not the kind of person who automatically is afraid of confrontation or is avoiding confrontation. This is someone who is more of like awkwardly approaching the topic of confrontation. Like, what is that? It's like stepping up and wanting to... Oh my god, wanting to poke. Sometimes this stuff works out too well. Provocation is the poker. So let's poke the poking, right? Like, I've got kind of like this open-ended question about like, what are emotions? Why do people feel that way? Why are they afraid of that? Why are they so excited about that? How does that lead to intimacy? Like, I'm expecting a lot of questions. Now, being a 4-1 profile, all juxtaposition crosses are 4-1 profiles. But the fact that we have a first line body, and they did acknowledge already active brain, consecutive determination, smell cognition, the amount of ones that I have in this person's brain makes them, I don't want to say insecure, but deeply curious. Deeply curious. Now, when we say insecure, it's not supposed to be like, oh, you have no confidence. Lacking security is like lacking the foundation, not really knowing if you can trust the thing that you're stepping on. I have someone here who goes, is it solid? I don't know. Can I trust this? I don't know. The question of, is it solid? Can I trust this? Can I... They have a lot of questions. Okay. I know that they have a lot of questions. They already said to me, like, of course my active brain is going to love to analyze all of the details. Now I want to play with gate 39 for a minute with provocation, because I think we get stuck in the negative side of provocation. Like, everything is a binary, everything is a duality in human design. The provocation is meant to poke, and bring out the spirit in somebody. You're not just poking people to annoy them. You're not just poking people to piss them off. You have to think about, what's the point? What's on the other end? The provocation is trying to get to the spirit on the other side. I have someone here who does not have the whole channel of emoting, but their sun gate makes them very, very aware of what gate 39 is and the themes around provocation. But again, I want to go back to provocation. Well, we hear this and we're like, oh, it's uncomfortable. Like, I'm being provoked, you know? Like, that has it does have like a negative general attachment to the word. But that's only if we're leaving provoke hanging on its own. As soon as we say provoke the spirit, it's like, oh, there's a thing that we're actually trying to get. We're trying to get the spirit in somebody. So if the point is to get the spirit, how you poke might be a little bit differently. If I said, go annoy that person over there, you might poke them a certain kind of way. But if I said, go find the spirit in that person over there, you're going to poke them differently. What does it even mean to find the spirit? That's a great question. How would you ever know what to provoke if you didn't know what the spirit was? This person gave me their social media handle, and it doesn't surprise me that the name Spirit is in their Instagram tag. We have someone here who is looking for the spirit. They want to pull it out of people. They want to find it. They want to meet it in themselves. I think they're willing to meet it anywhere. I think they just want to know what it is and how to find it, how to help people access it. The point is to get to the spirit awareness. Now, they said my work entails the idea of channeling and mediumship. 39 is in individual circuitry. Their personality Earth, 38.4, also within individual circuitry. Their design Sun, within individual circuitry. Their design Earth, within individual circuitry. I have an entirely individual incarnation cross. Now, this person has one individual channel, and they have one collective channel. Structuring is individual, alpha is collective. If we look at the amount of hanging gates this person has that are in individual circuitry, there are a lot. However, they also have quite a bit of collective going on. The thing that stands out the most to me about this person is they have almost no tribal definition. They have 54.5 and 54.1 and 54.2. Okay, so they got 54 a lot of times, but it's not going anywhere. This person is deeply attracted to a hanging 32. Kicker, guess what I have? Hanging 32. 32 is like, hey, money. Where's the money? Where's the money for me to actualize my ambition? They've got the ambition, but it's not consistent. Gate 54 is a gate of the marrying maiden, and it's a very, very tribally ambitious gate. It wants to not necessarily like marry up into the world. I think Raw gave the name for that one just because it like historically and patriarchally, is that a word? It made sense, or it fit. But the marrying maiden is just the splenic side of gate 19. Both 19 and 54 have a little bit of this like ambition to get their resources, but whereas 19 is looking for a more intimate resource, 54 is looking for a more business or monetary resource. We're in the business channel over here. So I love when this person also said to me, I'm here to express beautifully powerful things in this reality. There's no shortage of things I want to do. That doesn't surprise me at all. So when I'm looking at this root center, part of what I'm looking at now is, all right, how much has this root center been a problem for this person? And it's not a problem. Like, I don't really want to make any part of you feel negative or difficult or problematic, but let's just say that this one is the thing that you tend to trip over. As soon as you think that you can kind of like go on your way, the root center is like, oh yeah, we have a lot of hanging things going on here. We have a lot of, this is funny, we have a lot of deconditioning hang-ups with all of these hanging gates. This root center is extremely activated for being undefined, which tells me that this is where most of their deconditioning work is, where most of, I don't want to say self-development work, but the complexities of this center will block you from being yourself in many ways. My work entails the idea of channeling and mediumship, bringing through multidimensional frequencies designed to evoke healing or realignment. It does not surprise me at all that this person wants to do healing with frequencies, because not only, again, are we working with a purely individual cross, but we have the channel of structuring. We have so much individuality going on in this person. They're absolutely acoustically, I don't want to say driven, but sensitive. Individuality has acoustic sensitivities and acoustic gifts that go with it. So I absolutely see this person as having acoustic gifts. And then when I look at their environment, we have a passive mountains environment with a quality of feelings cognition, and feelings is another way to say frequency. When this person is in their right environment, there's a passivity that, the words are so funny sometimes, a passivity that overcomes them. Like, no, they lay down. So funny. I can use like such ridiculous fancy words, or I can just be like, so chill out. Go to the mountain and lay down. Go to the top of the mountain and lay down, as in go to the place of high elevation and good perspective and lay down. Go to the place with the view. Go to the place where the air is thinner. Go to the place where you get the downloads. Go meet God on the mountain. That's a really great way to say that, actually, for you. Go meet God on the mountain. What do you hear in the mountains? And that's not literal, but like, when you get to, exalted is another fun way to say elevated. When you get to exalted environments, what do you hear? And it might not be like literal frequency. It's not that you, like, maybe you hear the wind, maybe you hear the bird, but maybe you hear God talk to you. What do you channel when you're in the right environment? And like, where are you right now? Are you in a place that you would consider to be mountains environment? Do you feel regulated in your body where you are? I don't know if you do. I feel my physical expression is not nearly as vital as it could be. If anything, I feel creaky and old. I feel creaky and old within my being, exacerbated and reinforced by a very active mind. The creaky and old body is not being exacerbated by an active mind. The thoughts about having a creaky and old body are being exacerbated. Some of these words are really big and fun today. Exacerbated and reinforced. If the body is not feeling good, if I go to my 4 transformations, either the determination is off or the environment is off. And likely the determination is off before the environment, because if the determination was correct, it's likely that the environment would be slightly more correct as well. They admittedly are not eating consecutive. Why not? They say it's because they have conditioning from their family that they're Indian and raised with an Indian diet. But they're not living at home. So who's feeding them? And smell, nostalgia, taste. Your cognition will be stronger when your brain is not as overwhelmed. If you're not eating accurately, the number one thing that goes wrong is that your brain is too much. Your brain doesn't function properly. If you don't get the right nutrient, your brain is not functioning accurately. If I don't eat right, I don't think right. If I'm saying that my brain is getting away from me, there's a good chance I'm not feeding it that well. Too complex a food creates almost too complex of a mind for me. It's like it gets too hard to navigate through things. I feel kind of like slogged down and like there are all these things in my way. So how do I get you to eat more consecutively? How do I get you to simplify? Indian food is going to be lots of rice, lots of oils, lots of spices, maybe legumes, different meats, dairies, coconut milk, vegetables. How do I reduce these? How do I get you to have just the rice? And I don't like, it really doesn't have to be like just plain rice, right? But how do I get you to remove a couple of ingredients from what you're eating? Maybe mixed full curries aren't really for you anymore. But maybe you want the rice. Maybe you're loving some of the regular spices. Maybe you want turmeric and ginger tea, a bowl of rice with peas in it, a bowl of potatoes with butter and salt. I feel like what would be really hard for you is reducing the herbs. But what if the herbs are becoming teas more than meals? I tend to drink a lot of my herbs rather than cook with them. How does that sound for you? And also, let's say that, you sit and there's a meal with lots of dishes in front of you. One of the best things for consecutive is, traditionally as a kid, it was like put a little bit of everything on my plate. Otherwise, like, the things will be gone if you want to come back to them. Or typically my parents served me, which was also one of the worst things for me as a consecutive person because I wasn't choosing what I wanted to eat or how much I wanted to eat. People would just fill up my plate. So let's say that traditionally you filled up your plate or someone else filled up your plate for you. Can we have an aspect of the meal at a time rather than all of it on our plate at once? If there's a bowl of rice here, can we have a little bit of rice? Then can we have a little bit of this salad? Then can we have a little bit of naan? Then can we have some tea over here? Like, can we have a portion of it? Finish it. See how we feel about it. See if we want to eat any more of it. See if we want a second helping of the same thing. And if we're good on that and we want something else, then we move on to the next thing. And I don't expect anybody to just be like perfect and rigid about this right from the get-go. It's disastrous if you try and do that. I am not a perfect consecutive eater. But what is a perfect consecutive eater? This is an extremely personal part of the experiment. If anybody is telling you that you, like, that they know exactly how you should be eating, that's a gross overriding of your autonomy and your authority. What if you only eat the things that smell good? How do you even decide what to eat? I'm consecutive with taste cognition. And if I am absolutely clueless on what I want to eat, I'll like scan through pictures or scan through words in my brain or whatever, but I wait until I land on something where my mouth starts salivating. When I go, yeah, like my mouth starts to get watery when I look at something, I'm like, oh, my taste is kicking in. Okay, it's giving me pre-digestive juices after looking at something, which tells me put it in my mouth because my mouth is already starting to do the work of digesting. So what do you smell? And then your digestion already kicks in. What's the greatest smelling thing in the world? This is interesting because lots of people who have consecutive, if you ask them what their favorite smelling food is, so many of us will say sourdough bread. I absolutely love sourdough bread. Most people I know who are consecutive love sourdough bread. And it's not to say that bread is even good for us. It's probably to say that if we're going to eat bread, sourdough is one of the best for us. But I think about like limited ingredients, natural fermentation, fresh butter. Okay, what smells so good for you? What turns on your tummy juices? That's what I want to feed you. More than anything, I want you to feel good. I want you to like your life. I want you to enjoy what you're eating. I want you to just enjoy living. My hope is that, these human design conversations, they help with that. They actually make it feel good for you to live. And I don't ever want you to think like someone else is going to tell you what to do better. Like, don't get me wrong, I might be better studied or well versed in some of these mechanics. But if anything doesn't feel good for you, don't do it. The point is that this is supposed to feel good. The system is supposed to help us remove resistance in our life. If this system creates more resistance for you, drop it. But I don't think that's the case with this one. I wonder about you being grounded. I feel that with your channels, with your incarnation cross, with your circuitry, the fact that you are self-projected, we don't have weightiness to the body. No spleen, no sacral, no ego, no motors and no spleen ultimately. There's a part of you, I don't like the word missing, but like the anchor part of you, the weighty part, the part that keeps you fairly balanced, it's not only is it not there, it's one of the pieces of your design that is meant to create the most problems for you. The root center will be the hardest to decondition. The root center has this not self pressure of trying to be free of the pressure, trying to be free of the pressure, trying to be free of the pressure. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I don't know that much about you, and I didn't get to observe your physical body, but I don't get the feeling that you are like super energetic. I think you have an active brain and a strategic mind, and I think you think a lot. But I don't think you do a lot. So why does it feel ungrounded? Why does it feel restless? 41.4, 41.4, 38.4, 39.4, 61.4, 62.4, 15.4. Wow. You have an insane amount of fourth lines. You need a whole network to lead. We're ungrounded. We're not with the right network. He's not being put in that much of a guiding role. The guiding role is not as big as it could be. You should have a whole group. You should be taking them to a very specific place. You want to heal and realign people through different frequencies. We're taking them on journeys. We're taking them on sound journeys. We're taking them on sound journeys that provoke the spirit. Provoke for good. Provoke for love. Love is the most provocative thing. I love saying that. People get hung up on provocation being a negative, like you're poking people into annoyance until they finally freak out and react. And that is one of the ways to do it. It's just not the greatest expression of it. The greatest expression is making someone the greatest provocation is getting people to realize that they're loved. People will really buck back against that one. How do you get them to feel love? Through frequency. Your network is your family. Your network is your children. Your network, well, it's kind of like you're like a little sheep herder, and your network is your flock of sheep. Yeah, that's right. Where's your flock? Where are you taking them? Innocence, motivation. There's the kicker. You can't take them anywhere other than where you've taken yourself. You can only take your people where you've taken yourself. Innocence is self-leadership. What are you uncovering for yourself, and how is it a benefit for your network? Healing and recalibrating, healing and recalibrating. What healed you? What is healing you? What can heal you? What didn't heal you? What didn't work? Busy brain, calm body, no motors. It's like all of the energy that you have is supposed to be released through frequency. I see you as a creator, but if you only create, you lose your guiding role. I would love to push you in a bigger creative direction, but I have concerns that if you get stuck in like the production side of creativity, you're not guiding people. Are you taking people on sound journeys? How are you provoking people? That's what I want to know. How are you provoking people? What are you trying to get? What is the spirit? How do you know when you meet it? How do you know when someone is dysregulated when they come to you? How can you tell how to regulate that person? What would you prescribe for their regulation if you could? Do you hear frequencies that you think would be matched to the person to heal them? Those are the things I wanted you to know. I hope they gave you some direction. I hope they helped. I hope they made you feel seen. On to the next one.